Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is Mike.
And James.
Hey, this week is week number 6 of our Financial Commandments. We're going to be talking about planning, budgeting, and setting goals. And James, why don't you start us off by
talking about setting goals?
Setting goals, yes.
Okay, so Mike, whenever I was about 15 years old, I had a mentor in my life. Still have same mentor in my life, but he was strongly encouraging me to go off, set goals, and then come back and show it to him the next time we meet. And he wanted me to come up with the short-term goals, mid-term goals, and long-term goals. I thought this was a torture to me. What a tough exercise it was, because I didn't even think that way. But it's taught me a different way to think that has made me to become more successful in that.
Yeah.
And so I had to come up with these goals, and then even whenever I did show it to him, he kind of questioned me to help me fine-tune me to come up with better goals in my life. And there's such an importance to doing that, to be able to set goals in your life.
Definitely, yes.
Let me explain it this way with a picture and illustration, and that is when I took my motorcycle class. I did that to get my motorcycle license, and so now I'm official. I can drive a motorcycle.
Oh, nice.
Big deal.
Yeah.
But when I took that class, the instructor, I remember him saying, whenever you're driving, so you're driving your motorcycle, what you need to do is pick a distance pick a spot off in the distance that you want to focus on, and then if you want to go over here, then you pick a distance, or you pick a spot in the distance, and you focus on that to go that direction. And so he said, otherwise, if you focus on the present danger, or like, don't really make this turn, otherwise I'm going to go off the ledge, or anything like that. Whatever you focus on, that's where you're going to go. And so otherwise, if there's a pothole in the middle of the road, I'm going to look at it and say, don't hit the pothole, don't hit the pothole, don't hit the pothole. Just hit the pothole. Yeah. But if I say, okay, there's a pothole, I don't want to hit the pothole, I'm going to avoid it. There's this nice spot in the distance that I want to go, and I just focus on where I want to go. It's the same way with budgeting. You focus on where you want to go.
Yes.
And it helps you to avoid some of the present danger that is there.
Yeah, so some people have goals of, let's say they want $10,000 in the bank, or you've got some
retirement goals.
Sure, I want $10 million in the bank by the time I'm 55. Who knows? Whatever the goals may be, you have to have something. You have to have a target that you're shooting for.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say, I've just accidentally saved all this money over the years.
Right.
They have a way. I mean, that's a goal of theirs, and so that's how they do it. And let me read you a statistic. And this is kind of what resonated with me, because it really showed the importance of setting goals. So in a study of Harvard's MBA program graduates, students were surveyed on their goals after graduating. So 84% of them had no goals. 13% had goals, but they weren't written down. So I think I'd like to do this and this and this and this, and they had goals, but none of them were written down. 3% had clear, written down goals.
3%.
3% of them. That's it. And this is, you would think that these are probably some of the upper people, being at the Harvard's MBA program graduates. So then they went back 10 years later and interviewed all of these students. So this is 10 years later. And after 10 years, the 13% who had goals but they weren't written down were making 2 times as much as the 84% with no goals.
That's pretty good.
The 3% that had goals and they were written down, on average, were making 10 times as much as the other graduates.
Wow.
And it's the fact that they know where they want to go, and so then they do it. And so first thing is to set goals.
Yeah, what a great example, right? So,
but if you set goals, how are you going to achieve it?
Exactly.
Come up with a plan.
Come up with the plan. Proverbs 21:5 says, the plans of the diligent lead to plenty. So when you've got a plan, all right, you're setting that plan, and it's almost like you're setting a course. It's like a roadmap, so to speak. The goal is out here. Now, how am I going to get from here to here, from A to B? It's the plan, right? And so when we have that plan in place, it helps tremendously to start reaching your goals. Now, I love it. The Bible says that the plans of the diligent. Diligence, right? Diligence, just day after day, right? Week after week, month after month. This is a plan that we're going to put into place. Okay, and it sounds a little boring, so to speak, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine because eventually,
It's a strategy.
yeah,
Sounds cooler.
There you go. Thank you. Yeah, it is a strategy. So part of that is really putting a budget in place.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're going to talk quite a bit about budgeting here right now. But basically, every month before the month begins, you're going to sit down and you're going to tell your money where to go, rather than wondering where it went. Has anybody ever been there going, oh my gosh, I thought I had $200 in the bank. And
Where did it go?
Where did it go? Well, see, we didn't have a plan for it, so we went to McDonald's. It went to Lowe's. It went to the shoe store. It went to Cabela's. Wherever, right? It's just gone. Poof. But with a budget, and if you're married, if you and your spouse sit down together and you decide together, this is how we're going to spend our money. Oh my gosh, James. Amazing.
And by doing that, it takes the emotions out of it. So basically, if I really want something, then that's a very emotional decision. I really want this. And so I might go to my wife and say, babe, I really want these golf clubs. These are great new golf clubs. They're on sale right now. I really need this. And it becomes very emotional. If you have a budget in place, it takes the emotion out of it, that then you're just following what the numbers and what your plan says to do.
Exactly.
You're not building a house and say, okay, here's the house. Oh, wait, suddenly I want this in the house. Oh, suddenly I want this. No, you're following the plans. And in the same way, I'm following the plans of the budget that we agreed, not you and me, but you and your spouse, had planned on.
Okay. All right.
and then my wife it gives her the power to say, oh, babe, I'd love to get you those golf clubs. That'd be fantastic. But let's see what the budget says. Let's see what Mr. Budget says. Oh, Mr. Budget said no new golf clubs now. I'm sorry. But it allows you to take the emotion out of it and just follow the plan.
Yeah, you know, when you've got the goal set in place, but without that budget, actually, I can speak for myself. We have some pretty lofty goals. However, because we weren't sitting down and putting that down on paper, we were actually going deeper into debt. Right? Because we didn't have a plan. We didn't know how to say no. We figured, hey, we got the money. Let's go ahead and spend it on this, and this. Now, when we finally sat down and said, this is what we're going to do, all right, according to the Bible, and we believe that this is going to help us tremendously, and my word, it helped us so greatly as it related to eliminating debt. When we sat down and started doing this, we had about $38,500 in debt. All right, I think I've shared this, but basically in 15 months after we started budgeting, that was paid off, James. It was paid off, and we've been debt free ever since. That was a huge goal that we had in front of us, and quite honestly, I didn't know if we were going to achieve it because we had always been in debt before that. But man, what a huge difference that made once we finally sat down and put that budget together. And you can do the same thing.
Money will flow out of the hands that do not steward it and into the hands of those who do steward it.
So good.
Another way of saying that, it will flow out of the hands of people that don't budget and into the hands of people that do budget. Because by budgeting, it allows you to know what's going on. You give every dollar a name. And here's something else. That so many people that if you're struggling in this area or whatever, then you can get help in this area. If I'm sick, I'm going to go to the doctor and I'm going to get help. Well, if you're financially struggling in this area, go seek help.
Yes.
We are here to help. You can email us. We also are constantly building our online tools to help in this area. Yes. We have classes all the time, but get help in this area.
Yeah. Don't let shame, don't let fear, don't let pride get in the way of asking for help. If you've got goals set in place of eliminating debt or getting a certain amount in savings, whatever the case may be, and you don't know how to do that, man, we want to help. Ask for help.
And the enemy would love to convince you of that, or to lie to you about, the shame, or You listen, if you go there, they're going to say, let me see your checkbook. Oh, man, let me see your bills. Oh,
Yeah, right.
hey, everyone, have y'all seen this? What this is exactly of what not to do. That doesn't happen.
No.
We all need help in this. We all do need help in this. And so you go and you get help and you get training to become better at that.
Yes, we want you free, right? We want you free. And so that's the point, is to be free to handle that money the way God's intended it to be. And maybe you've got some goals that you want to give. You want to build the kingdom. Man, we want to help you do that.
Yeah. And so take the time to plan, set goals, and then to budget. Budget your monthly budget. And it's an ongoing budget. It's not something you sit down once a year and you do. It's ongoing budget. So take the time to do this.
You can do it. God
we
bless
love you
guys. Love you.
Yep. Thank you.